Okay, it's Friday, back at it. Got the aircon going. It's freezing out here. I've even got my jacket on today. Put a jacket on, but I've still only got shorts on. How's that for having a brain? Today, I'm going to put up these new lights. But what I was thinking, rather than remove those lights, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one light out to get to the wiring and piggyback. So I still have those lights, but I'm going to put, say, one right in the middle here. Whoop, so up there. And the same down here. I'm going to leave these. I'm going to leave them all in because it's just a little extra light. So, but I think these are classed as warm lights. The other ones are cool lights. But they, I'm just got to work out where exactly I'm going to put them. As I say, one I wanted to put in the middle. I've got four, so I'll put one down there over the bench. I'm going to put one here, so I might put it in the middle here, and the other two I'm going to put down and sort of put them just outboard of the focus. Come on, there we go. There and over there. I don't know yet, because if I put it directly up there, that'll work better, because in here, when I'm trying to do stuff, particularly when that door's closed, even when it's actually when it's open, it's worse because you've got bright light from one side. He's seeing something over this side, so I might put it directly over the machine, because let me turn it on. That light's useless. Well, it works on one side, but being like that, that's what when I try on a video, because it's so bright compared to the surrounding area, it washes it out, washes the video out right in that area. That's why a lot of the time I have it turned like this when I'm recording, so you can see what's going on, but it doesn't help me. So if I put that light up above, that's going to help that. But there's another problem. I don't know if you can see that's turned on. I keep forgetting to turn that bloody thing off. So that's what I'm going to do first, and then this, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I have issues. I've worked out another issue. Even if I was to put the flat bit on the back to drop the cans, it's too high. See how high that is? Even if I put a stopper in there, it's too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to redesign this, obviously. That's going to be a problem now. I'll work out another way to cut the copper. I'm going to pull this out and machine it down. So if I machine it down to the top of here, that'll bring it just above the can. I'll be fine. And then I can work out what I'm going to do here. What I'm thinking, I've been looking online, I did allude to it in the other video, is a solenoid. I'll get a 12 volt 35mm stroke 60 Newton solenoid, and not overly expensive. It's just I think it's $19 for a little transformer, which will be fine. And then try and work it so that I can make something that, you know, using that thin steel that I was talking about down there, to get it to work. I mean, 35mm is not long enough, so I'm going to have to 2 to 1 on the stroke somehow. Yeah, there's miles of room down here to mount stuff, so you know that's not going to be a major problem. But I'm going down next week. I'm going down to Tuggerah to pick up another compressor heads for this one, because as I said in one of my previous ones, one of those motors is burnt out. So I've managed to score two more heads for it. So I'm going to take one of those off, and I'm considering making it into a 3-head compressor. Either that or just the other one. I'll just use the 2 heads. They're pretty much the same. they're pretty much the same. So scored that for free, which is a bonus. So while I'm down there, I'm going to have a look and see what my mate's got down there to if I've got some sort of solenoid. I thought about a starter solenoid. I've got a couple of spare starters down there, but I don't think the throw's long enough and it's too violent. Like they're too big, and just bang, it's going to break something. So anyway, let me fiddle with these lights first. I'll go and get the ladder, sort these lights out, then we'll start pulling this apart and get into this, okay? Stay tuned. Right, there's one. A little bit of screwing around, but now I know what I'm doing and the next lot will be easier. That's a whole heap different, but there we go. And we had a tragedy too. Look at that, I knocked my can of Pepsi over. I'm heartbroken. Oh well. Onward and upwards, I'll go and do the others. All done. After a lot of swearing and dropping things off the ladder, this is a lot brighter. I changed my mind down here. This one is pointing down more towards the milling machine because this is where I have the trouble. But see, when I use the lathe, I turn that one on, so I don't really need one over here. So that's plenty bright enough. So I put one right in the middle there, and I've got one over the bench, and I put that one there. And it gives me light over here because this drill was always a dark spot. That's why I've got that torch sitting there. I used to turn that on so I could see. And it's a pain in the bum because it shines straight in your eyes. So now I can see. It's a lot brighter in here now, let me say. Should make the video a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is pack away my gear. You can tell that I've been working because look at the mess. So I'm going to put all this stuff away and then I will come back and we'll start pulling this apart. It's not going to take much. I'm only going to take that pin out, slide it forward and take the T-nut off the bottom, and I'll pull that off. I've come up with another plan, another thought for the copper. This is below where I'm thinking about drilling like a copper wire, drill a hole right through the middle of that. I'll see. I've got to try and work that bit out. Of course, yeah, I don't know. Let me pull it apart because I'm going to have to redesign this end just a little, just for the wire. Either that or once I sort it, I think I'm going to make a new cutter. Take that bloody can out of there. Make a new cutter and feed the wire in through this side, same with the pipe. I might make that a bit longer there, so I've got a little bit more overlap on that cutting edge. So I might make that another 10mm longer. And what I'm going to do is probably make a new one of these as well, but bring it up high and put it at an angle. So when you feed it through, it's like a, yeah, more like a scissor edge rather than just a hard edge block there. That should cut it a whole lot better. So yeah, I think that will work. That might be easier. That way I can take this off. I can machine it off. I'm not going to change the height of these because I've got all this welded on now. And what'll make it easy is when I put my can stopper in, I'll just cut the slot down here. Just means I might have to take a little bit of these out. Well, actually I might get away with it. So stay tuned. I'll sort some shit out and then I'll start pulling this apart. Oh, while I remember, I'm going to mourn that passing of that can of Pepsi and go and get another one. Alright, we're in, ready to go. I went and got my other Pepsi, as you can see. I've put it there where I can't knock it down. There. Anyway, let's get into this. This is going to take a while. I've got to take 20mm off this. Oh, idiot. I've got to take 20mm off. So I've got to take it down to sort of halfway down that weld. It's going to give me problems because it's going to cut through all the weld on there, because if you recall, there's 3 pieces of plate there, so The bottom will still hold, but I will probably have to re-weld and re-machine it. So, but I worked out, I stuck a can in and measured it, and it's 20 mil roughly to give it decent clearance. So I'll do that, and but it'll take a little while. So what I'll do is I'll record the whole lot, but I'll just time lapse it for you. So so yeah, let's do it. Alright, that's 10 mil down. That's just warm, so it's not cutting too bad. See little sparkies, but that's when it gets to the weld, the hard weld. So I'll turn it off now, and I will take the next 10 mil off. And when I've done that, I'll bring you back and we'll have a look. Stay tuned. Alright, we're all done. There's it sitting there, that's much better. So that works heaps better. So what I'm going to do now is it's pretty much lunchtime. I'm going to go in, have lunch. When I come back out, I'm going to grind a bit of prep in that, and that's one of the holes from version 1 and 2. I'm just going to weld that up, and I'm going to run a weld down both sides and across the top. I can't this side because I don't want to screw those holes, but you can see it's just a slight gap where it's spread a little bit because I've redone the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'll take that down, grind some weld prep in these two sides, stick it in the vise, and then weld it. And put a bit more weld in on these where I've machined the weld off up there. Try and clean it all up. So yeah, that's a lot better than what it was. So once I do that, I'll come out, once I've welded that and re-machined, I think I'll call it a day. And then next week I'll make the new cutters, 2 new cutters, get them drilled, countersunk, get them all ready to go, and then I will harden them, and then we might even try and cut some copper. Next Wednesday I'm going down to get that new compressor. I'm going to see if Scott's got something down there I can make me solenoid width to drop the cans safely. So anyway, stay tuned, and after lunch I'll come out and have another shot. Alright, there we go, that's a bit of weld prep ground in. So I just got it in the vise, just going to tack it now for a couple of tacks, then sit on the bench where I can work on it a bit easier, and weld that out. So I'll bring you back when I've done that and ready to take it up to back up the mill. Done. Now I'll take it out and I'll just clean up the edges, and then we'll have a look at what's going on from there. Stay tuned. Righto, that's all cleaned up, and as you can see, that's much better. That's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 mil, and that's perfect. That's what I want, because the divider will have to come in from there, so it'll clear this. So the other can will be just partially on top like that. Let me come around this side. So the slide will be able to pop in. I'm trying to do this so you can see, and I'll just do that. So, and it's going to be, like I said, about that long. So I'm going to try and work that. I might even be able to fit it in between these two. I think that's all I'm going to need, really. Because that's about, I haven't hooked anything back up yet, but I think that's about as far as it goes back. So I think that's what I'll do. Just in between there, so it's the full width of that. It's just, if I can't find anything, I'm going to have a look. There is some stuff I get online, easy enough. But again, it's more money than I've really got at the moment, so I'll see what Scott's got down there when I get out on Wednesday. But before then, I'll come out and, as I said, remake. That's the cutting one, so I'm going to remake that. We'll see, it's only going to be 3 holes high now, because where I've trimmed it down. So I might make it exactly like this. So basically the whole thing's a V, and I will make it a bit longer, so there's, you know, instead of coming back to here, the bottom of it will be around about here, so just give me a little bit extra. I'm kind of thinking too, you know, if I made that long enough, because it's going to clear this when it's crushing cans. I'll have to think about it. I might be able to make it so that we can cut and do everything we need without having to move that. All you need to do is take these 2 off. Get rid of those to do your copper. I think that'll work, you know. That will work. I just got to make the cutter a little bit longer. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, I'll try that. I mean, let's give us the option that we can put it back the way we had it, where we move it forward for the copper. Oh no, if I don't move that, then it's not going to crush the copper. But in the process of cutting the pipe, it might crush it anyway. So I'll have to have a look at that. I'll have a look. It doesn't matter if I make it long enough to cut it in this position. Even if we've got to move that back, it doesn't matter. The cutter's still going to clear plenty. So that'll give me the two options then. So yeah, that's much better. I like that a lot better now. That hit me sort of looking at it the other day. I thought, wow, that's way too high. Excuse me. I've got the hiccups now from lunch. It's, you know, it was way too high, but that's going to be good. So anyway, I'll stop waffling. I'm starting to waffle, and like I said, next week I might take that off and trim this back as well. So trim it all down. You know, I might be able to clean it up. That to me, that looks ugly. I mean, it'll look better once I've dressed it with the flap oil and sandblaster, but to me it just looks ugly. So I might try and trim that back to about here, back to the wells, and tidy that up somewhat. Put it in and maybe use the 45-degree cutter to trim those wells to make it look a little bit prettier. You know, looks fine, everything, as long as it's functional, but people are going to be looking at that and say, Jesus, he's fucking rough. So I'm going to do it. I want to do it properly. I know it's and I have to apologise to Dion, mate. I'm sorry it's taken so bloody long, but a fabricator I am not. So, you know, I'm learning this as I go. So, but we will get there, and when it's done, it'll be spectacular, I hope. So, so yeah. Anyway, that's going to do me for the day and for the week. So, thanks to those that are hung around and watch. Let me know what you think of the lighting in here now. Just leave a comment. See what you think. I think it's a lot better. It's much better than what it used to be, because it's brighter, but it's a cool light, a cooler light. Those warm lighting is good. You can see the difference if you look down there. You can see the drop light, the down light's a yellowy colour, and the other one's a sort of a bluey colour, like, you know, warm versus cool lighting. So I don't know what that is in their K radio, like 4K, 3K, whatever. I just know cool and warm. So I may even buy some more, you know, and gradually phase out these other downlights. So we'll see how I go. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just give it a subscribe, eh? Just helps me out, boosts my morale a little bit. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Until then, stay safe. Peace.